Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience. So pleased you could join us. Thank you so much. Hope your summer is rolling along. It's now monsoons are going and we're just, wow, everything is popping, all kinds of things happening. And you know, now that it's raining, of course, you know, there's lots of gardening that makes so much easier now. I don't know about you, but I'm overwatering. And now that, of course, it's monsooning, we don't have to do that. And because of that, it was a great time to have President for Gardens of Humanity Richard Sidy in the studio with us. So he's going to talk about monsoon gardening. He's going to talk about their new programs for during the summer and for school programs and all the things that are happening and blooming and growing over there at Gardens for Humanity. Richard's going to fill us in on. And our next guest from the Sedona Sustainability Alliance will have founder and facilitator Darcy Hitchcock with us. Now, it's a very, very cool. The Alliance helps organizations become more sustainable through their sustainable business certifications. It also provides homeowners with certain programs such as zero waste programs and also tips at how to keep your home, you know, more sustainable. There's lots of things there. And they also work with schools on how to bring sustainability into the classroom. Really, really cool programs. Darcy's going to tell us all about that. Then we will talk with Dr. Ross Hawkins. The Sedona Hummingbird Festival is back. They took a break, but now they're back and in full swing. It's 3 days of everything hummingbird. It's just absolutely awesome. Presentations, displays, of course, exhibits and demonstrations of banding hummingbirds. That's always really cool to see. And Dr. Ross is going to tell us all about that. That happens August 2nd through Sunday, August 4th, all about Arizona's amazing hummingbirds. And then we'll go on location, courtesy of our guests, our sponsors at Verde Links, and we're going to go talk with Sedona Police Officer Jonathan Reed and his dog Max. We drop in on a obedience training session between all the canine officers in the area. We get to see all the things that they do, talk to the officers about it, and I get to put the bite suit on again. I did it last year. I get to do it again this year. Way too much fun. And we'll finish out our show today with musician Tim Young. He's amazing. Great musician, all around fun guy, super duper busy. And he's going to play us 2 songs from his upcoming, not yet released CD. So you'll hear it first right here on the Verde Valley Experience. Let's go ahead and get started. We have with us President from Gardens of Humanity, Gardens for Humanity, Richard Sidy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's
You're
always
awesome.
A pleasure, and what a better time to talk about nature than when it's all hyperactive.
Yes, absolutely. Normally we meet outside. We meet at a garden somewhere and it's like 105. So I'm really pleased to be sitting in the air conditioning with you today, Richard.
Yes, indeed. It felt good walking in.
Oh, I bet. So now we've got, thank goodness, nature is helping us out. The monsoons are starting and we've got rain. And now what's happening when you're gardening during monsoon season? It's not always so easy.
No, but you know, I look at plants like children, and their childhood starts in early spring. You know, we try and nurture them and baby them and take care of them, and they just seem to bide their time. Then, you know, May and June come and they become preteens, and then boom, July, and they're adults. Automatically, they love the heat, and it's amazing. We planted starts, and they just, you know, struggling along, and then when July came, we put seeds directly in the ground, and they're already bigger than the starts.
Wow.
Because of the warmth, and so much of gardening is about timing, and you know, you can struggle and struggle, but when the time is right, the plants know it. And their DNA is already programmed to go, and it's a lot more effortless.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So
that's good.
You may think that July is early. You know, we're just starting a new growing season in the monsoon, but it's also time to consider fall gardens.
Really?
Yeah, because the monsoon goes through September, maybe even through the beginning of autumn, and that the end of the monsoon season is a great time to start your fall winter garden. So, you know, kind of planning is important. You know, where your summer garden is, where you're going to want to make space. And then another thing in the monsoon season is succession planting. So the plants that you plant early are going to start kind of getting timed out, and then you can actually have new ones coming. So let's say you have beans that are actually starting to produce now. In a week you can plant new ones, and then they'll take you through the end of the summer. So Succession planting is also a good thing, and at this time in the monsoon season, it's really a great time. Our first garden was on the 4th of July when we moved to Sedona 38 years ago.
Wow.
It was 4th of July weekend we put in our first garden, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Not too late.
No. All right. So what's new? What's going on? How about these programs that you now?
You mentioned that Darcy's coming pretty soon. The Sustainability Alliance has an educational committee of which I'm a part since I'm an educator, and we've been working on developing programs for children, and this is very compatible with what Gardens for Humanity is doing, because we have a art and environmental education program, we do school gardens and so forth. So we're looking at a bigger picture than just, you know, gardenings, because really you have to look at things holistically. And even the language around gardening is starting to change. It's like we're not talking about a garden by itself. We're talking about habitat, that when you create a garden, you're influencing the habitat. And even your other guest that's coming, talking about hummingbirds, that's part of the habitat. So you want to plant flowers and pollinators, and they're all, you know, you're inviting nature into your environment when you start a garden. There's more water, there's more pollen, there's more plant life and food. And so if you think that you're actually creating a habitat, and it's also another word that's coming in now is restorative gardening, which you're actually restoring soil, you're restoring nature. So these are elements that are really starting to come to the forefront in gardening. We're looking at it as a much more holistic activity.
That's interesting. Restorative gardening. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, because you come into a new house and the soil's not very good. It's maybe been scraped clean in construction if it's a new home. And you're really, when you start to garden, you're starting to improve the microorganisms and the biomass and all of those things in the garden. So humans, you know, we do bad things to the environment, but we can be great stewards of the environment as well.
Absolutely, yes, and planting things that the pollinators enjoy is a very good step.
Right, and so that's what we're trying to convey to the children, their role in helping the nature and helping our built society be more compatible. And I think what we see out of balance now is that the built society has overwhelmed the natural world, and we need to kind of re-invite the nature into our lives and be more aware of where the things that we use come from and where they go. And so that's what our sustainability part of our school gardens and environmental education, and we're starting clubs now that are you know, after school clubs to help the kids understand those concepts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you've got a lot going.
We do. I mean, there's a lot to do, but it's so wonderful to see all these different organizations and groups that are doing a part of it. And I think Darcy will talk about that because she brought a lot of us together.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, if they want more information on anything you've talked about, the school gardens, of course, restorative gardening, tips on monsoon gardening, if they go to gardensforhumanity.org, all that good stuff is there.
It's all that good stuff is there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lots of good stuff. If they want to bug you yourself personally, 928-284-9055. Just give Richard a call. What do I do about this? And, and what kind of beans? And
we're having a Sustainability Explorers Summer Camp.
Wow.
That's just going to start very soon. When and I don't know when this program's going to air, but maybe there's still time to have your kid involved. And we're going to look at all aspects of sustainability in a hands-on fashion. We're going to build solar ovens and bake cookies and do things like that to understand how the sun can be a great benefit to us.
Nice. That's wonderful. I love it. You're starting with them young, like plants. Start them young, start your children in the sustainability, in the gardening and all that young, and to be stewards of the earth.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing, Richard.
Thank you.
You're amazing, and I've loved seeing you grow over the number of years and I didn't mean that, no pun intended, but I've watched Gardens for Humanity grow, and I've watched the joy in your face grow. I can really see you love what you do. So check out gardensforhumanity.org. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you being here. We'll be right back, so don't go away. Breakthrough Medicine's Dr. Shada Sina offers comprehensive hormone testing and customized hormone therapy with a focus on lifestyle medicine, weight loss, allergy drops, brain and digestive health, seasonal detox, and nutrition. Dr. Sina is a referral physician for Suzanne Summers, specializing in bioidentical hormones for men and women. Breakthrough Medicine is located in Cottonwood's Hot Yoga Plaza. Call for a 15-minute complimentary new patient consultation, 928-649-0269, or visit online at breakthrough-medicine.com.
Been hearing about the crazy benefits of CBD? Find out how CBD can help you at Sedona's #1 resource, CBD Sedona. Come in for a free consultation and let our trained medical staff help you find the perfect product for you. Pain-relieving salves, full-spectrum oils, honeys, teas, cookies, and even CBD for pets. Ready to feel fantastic? Come on by CBD Sedona today.
Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging uses a state-of-the-art medical digital camera to take a picture and create a map of the body's infrared patterns, later interpreted by an MD specially trained in reading thermography. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging is the leading medical imaging and proactive healthcare, detecting early danger signs years before other tools, finding early breast disease up to 8 years before mammography may detect it. Schedule a scan with Carol today. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging. Say yes to thermography.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're now here with Darcy Hitchcock. She's the founder and facilitator for the Sedona Sustainability Alliance. Yes, Richard mentioned this a few times. Now you get to see the face behind it all. Darcy, thank you for coming into the studio today.
Oh, my pleasure. And just a point of clarification, we're not just in the Sedona area. We focus on the whole Verde Valley. So we're just the Sustainability Alliance.
Oh, very good.
A lot of people find that confusing.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we've cleared that up. Now we've got that going.
Yeah.
Now, you guys do a lot for the entire Verde Valley area as far as for businesses, for schools, and for homeowners. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the businesses, or what is the Sustainability Alliance and how it was formed?
Well, I can tell a little bit about the Alliance and how it was formed, and then I think probably the most exciting stuff that's going on is around business, so we could focus on that next.
Okay.
So when I moved here about 6 years ago, my husband was retiring and I was a sustainability consultant in the Pacific Northwest. I moved here and thought, well, how can I make a difference in my new home? And I noticed there were lots of different nonprofits, each in their silos, doing awesome work, but there were organizations related to water and food and hunger and waste and climate change, but they're all interconnected, right? So I brought them, some of them anyway, together to see where are we interconnected and what's falling through the cracks between our organizations that nobody's doing that would make a big difference. And then we've given policy recommendations to the municipalities. So rather than them hearing from 10 separate nonprofits about what each one thinks they should do, we say here's a coherent set of recommendations that fit together.
Wow, that must take some doing to put that together.
Well, that we're an all nonprofit, all volunteer, no money changing hands kind of operation. So it's just, I just love how when you give people something cool and meaningful to do, how they step up. So that's how we get things done.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, you want to talk about the Sustainable Business Certification.
I'd
That's
love to.
interesting because we have a lot of wonderful businesses in the Verde Valley, and I'm noticing those little signs popping up all over the place.
Oh,
and
good
it makes
to know.
me wonder, what are they doing that makes them sustainable, and how can I get part of that. Yeah.
Right. So we started the Sustainable Business Certification for a couple reasons. One is for businesses, they needed a way to identify what they're already doing and what they don't know that they could do, and get some recognition for that. Like you said, there's these wonderful businesses doing amazing things, and there was nobody pointing a flashlight at them going, hey, look, and see what they're doing. Also, as you know, we get 3 million or so visitors up here, and many of them care about sustainability or the environment and social issues. And so wouldn't it be nice for them to have one badge to look for to find the most sustainable hotel, the most sustainable 5 restaurants, the most sustainable tour company, the most sustainable art gallery? Let's make it easy for them to identify those businesses that are doing the most for our community and the environment, and their employees for that matter, and drive business to them. It also helps our entire community. This region is trying to brand itself as a sustainable destination, being a tourist-based place. And so by acting as a third-party certifier, we bring credibility to that claim that we're working towards sustainability. And it attracts millennials and young people who want to start businesses here. It identifies new opportunities. Like we have waste streams. What can we do with this waste stream? How can we add value to it, start a new business to do something about that? So it really can help at multiple levels. And by having all of us around the table designing it, there are aspects about water and energy and toxics and employee practices all embedded in the certification.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. So once the business goes through the process of becoming certified, then what sort of benefit does it get them? It brings them those people that are looking for that sustainable. And of course, it also, of course, it gets them lots of things because they're helping the environment. So it gets them peace of mind for sure. As a business owner, I know that that's very important.
Yes, of course. So we have this amazing partnership with the Chamber, which has done amazing things to step up and support sustainability. So we're not really the marketing arm, they're acting as that. So the major regional tourism websites are promoting the businesses that we certify. The Sedona Chamber, we have rack cards that are now in the visitor center talking about sustainable businesses. So they're really helping us a lot by getting the word out to the public and also to the visitors.
What are some types of things that these businesses are doing to be sustainable? You know, you've got sustainable eateries and you've got sustainable lodging. What types of things are they doing that keeps them in that running?
Well, let me tell you some fun stories. Many of you probably know Page Springs Winery, and they've been known for doing very good environmental practices for a long time. But recently, one of the things that they do is they produce about 80% of the electricity that they need for their entire operation, and soon it'll be 100%.
Wow.
They're dark sky compliant, and they needed to develop a wastewater treatment center for the wastewater that came out of their entire process. And so they created these artificial wetlands, so the water goes through the artificial wetlands. And the containers, they have these big long containers, and they said, guess what these are? And I said, I don't have a clue. And they said, they're cruise missile covers.
Wow.
And I thought, what did you do with the cruise missiles? Right? So they're using waste products, and they're processing their own water.
Wow.
So that's one example. There's another winery, Clear Creek Winery, that may be less famous, but they have developed a pond where the fish generate fertilizer, trying to be delicate here, and it has become a stop-off for the ducks when they migrate.
Nice.
They cover their crops to keep pests out rather than using pesticides, and they let the chickens go in and eat stuff. And then they have these two humongous dogs, Cisco and Pancho. They're Great Pyrenees, you know, great sort of off-white dogs that it's their job to keep the other critters out of there.
Wow.
First time I met them, they'd had a little tangle with a skunk.
Oh, dear.
So if you do go visit, I do encourage you to take a whiff before you give them a big hug. But so there's cool things like that. There's Creative Gateways is a art gallery and a studio, and they produce enough electricity to power their entire operations, including some small glass kilns.
Wow.
And they make
That's
their own
great.
glass cleaner out of green products. Why
Sure.
buy Windex when you can
Okay,
make something
that's
safer?
True. Okay, so that's great.
Yeah.
It sounds like if you can make your own power, deal with your own waste, use sustainable products, environmentally friendly products, you're there. So they need to get certified in order to do that. And
Yes.
what's the first step? Where do they go to the website?
Yes, they can go to our website, sustainabilityallianceaz.org, and there they'll find links under business about information about getting certified.
Okay.
That link will take them to an online self-assessment. It's basically 12 questions, and you click off, oh yeah, I buy green cleaning products and this, that, and the other thing. And then that gets sent to the business program manager, Lisa Voss, who has an MBA in Sustainable Solutions from
Nice.
Presidio. She was my little gift last year. She showed up on my doorstep. So she then meets with them and goes through their certification and helps them identify what more they can do and what level of certification. And then once you're certified, we issue a press release, and that
Nice.
goes out to media, and
great.
and the rest is hopefully helping them in the process.
Well,
And it's
very good.
also connecting these businesses that all share these values. The first time we brought them all together, business cards were flying. They were going, oh my gosh, you make greens, microgreens, I want your card. So we're helping to connect people who share these values.
Well, that's wonderful. And same thing for homeowners. If they go to the website, if anyone is a teacher at a school and wants to bring it into the classroom, sustainabilityallianceaz.org. And there's also sustainabilitycertifications.org if they want to check that one out too. Thank you, Darcy, for being here.
Well, my pleasure.
Thank you for
so
bringing
much
all this
for
great stuff.
helping us get the word out about these wonderful
Absolutely.
businesses.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more of the Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
Regrow, repair, replace. Regenerative medicine is the process of creating living, functional tissues to repair or replace tissue or organ function lost due to age, disease, damage, or congenital defects. Dr. Forrest Lanchbury and the team at Sedona Regenerative Medicine specialize in finding relief for patients suffering from chronic pain. Contact Sedona Regenerative Medicine to learn about anti-aging medicines that will help your body heal itself. 928-282-2520 or SedonaRegen.com.
Solid Rock Fitness is a one-on-one fitness studio specializing in fitness over 50. I train older adults of all fitness levels, from athletes and avid sports participants to folks with chronic pain to those recovering from surgeries. You and I will focus on strength training to improve overall muscle tone, core conditioning, balance, agility, flexibility, and nutrition. Mastery of these components of fitness will help you live your life to the fullest with confidence and competence.
Start your journey toward better health with Ageless Touches Massage Therapy. Licensed massage therapist Richard Stevens uses the latest and best equipment to relieve scar tissue, electronic smog, and tinnitus. Ageless Touches does everything they can to work your issues down to the bone. Improve your path to better health with Ageless Touches Massage.
And welcome back. I'm now here with Dr. Ross Hawkins. He's going to talk about all things Hummingbird, and the Hummingbird Festival is back. They took a year off, but man, they're back full swing. All things Hummingbirds, 3 days of fun. It starts on Friday, August 2nd, and it runs through Sunday, August 4th. Thank you for being here, Doctor.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Any excuse to talk about hummingbirds will get me started.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that the festival is back again this year.
We are too. We took a year off, and it was good that we did, and now we won't have a year off in the future. It's going to be every single year.
Excellent.
And people come. Do you know we had people from 39 states and 8 countries the last time we had a festival here?
Wow.
I was amazed. I didn't think people would fly from Australia or France or England just to see our little festival in Sedona. But we think we're probably the best festival around for hummingbirds. There are only 2 other festivals like ours. One's in Holly Springs, Mississippi. One's in Rockport, Texas. But when I tell people ours is in Sedona, their eyes light up.
Yeah.
Because most of the people in the world have heard of and maybe even have been to Sedona one time.
Yeah.
So our location helps bring people in.
Oh, that's for sure. And we do have an amazing amount of hummingbirds here.
Oh, we do. In the summer, when we have migrating species coming in, we have as many as 7 different species. And for people who live, let's say, anywhere east of the Mississippi, they're used to seeing only one hummingbird species the whole year long. And they come here and suddenly they see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They go home so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, they get so excited with their camera, too. I've seen people stay all day at a feeder just because they didn't know what kind of species was going to come next.
Oh, how fun.
And I can understand that. But local people come, too, because we have presentations by hummingbird experts from around the world. We have one man coming from France. He's the only individual in France who has a hummingbird aviary of his own in his home.
Ooh.
We've been there, and it's remarkable to see 100 different hummingbirds. He says you should try taking care of them, though.
Oh my gosh.
So he's coming over, and he's going to be talking about his aviary. Presentations also include scientists who are very experienced in studying hummingbirds. We have gardening experts. We have people who tell you how to plant a hummingbird garden in a small space. We have people who ban them. We have people who rehabilitate injured hummingbirds. All those are part of the presenters that we have brought into town to talk about hummingbirds.
Oh, that's great.
It is.
It's 3 days jam-packed full
3
of
days,
information.
jam-packs, and the presentations start at 9:30 in the morning and run basically all day.
That's certainly. And a lot of them are being held in the air-conditioned Sedona Performing Arts Center.
That's right.
Which is
it's
very
a wonderful
important.
place to be holding it. The lobby we use for a vendor exhibit, heavily on the arts side, but always on the hummingbird side. So people who love hummingbirds, we usually find something they really want to take home with them to remember the event. I know that there's one artist who comes back every year, and they're there waiting in line for him to open his booth at 9:30 in the morning because they've flown from around the country to get his particular art products.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's speaking this time on how he paints hummingbirds. So he's one of our presenters as well as one of our vendors.
Wow, well, that's very hard. I tried to paint a hummingbird once. It came out like blob.
Well, they're hard to draw, they're hard to photograph, so if you can find experts who can tell you how that makes it easier.
And yes, and the hummingbirds are amazing. I know, I love that we have hummingbirds year-round here.
Yes.
I do love that.
I do
Even
too.
in the snow, you can watch the hummingbirds fly around.
Isn't that
here.
amazing? I have a picture of a hummingbird going to a snow-covered feeder. That wouldn't happen in the eastern half of the U.S., but so it's a little bit of snow, and he brushes it away with his beak, and it goes at it. Amazing.
Absolutely, I know. We have the Annas; those are the most common ones here. We see the rufous during the migration time, and the ruby throats and the indigo.
Well, the ruby throats are not found in Arizona. There have only been 3 times in history they've found a ruby-throated hummingbird in Arizona. Mostly they stay the other side of the country. Draw a line down the middle of the country. To the east belongs to the ruby throat.
Okay.
So, but we do have some that look like the ruby throat. We have broad-tailed hummingbirds who usually nest in places like Colorado, but they don't like the Colorado winters any more than I would if I lived in Colorado. So they come down through the Rockies, lots of wildflowers there, and then spread out through Arizona and New Mexico. And they're heading to somewhere in central Mexico to spend their winter.
Wow. Are you doing a presentation as well?
This year I got roped into 2 presentations. I have one called Hummingbirds 101, the essence of how to attract hummingbirds.
Very good.
And the other one is Endangered Hummingbirds. That's the reason I started the Hummingbird Society 24 years ago, because a lot of people don't know that 10% of all hummingbird species are on the endangered list. So we thought, well, we're small, but we're going to do what we can to maybe prevent 1 or 2 extinctions in that list of 39 species that are endangered.
Wow.
And that's the whole point of the Hummingbird Society. The festival gives us a chance to educate people about hummingbirds, but it also gives us a chance to stress that unless we do something, there are at least 9 species that could go extinct in the next 10 years.
Wow.
I mean, 10 years is a short period of time to see extinctions, and we're hoping that won't happen.
What's causing that? Why are they?
Nearly always because the habitat is being degraded. Some cases it's being cleared for farmland. Some cases it's being burned again to create farmland. one terrible case where the species has declined 87% in 12 years.
Wow.
It's down to maybe 400 birds.
Wow.
There was this beautiful land. A hummingbird had been there for hundreds of years, and agricultural interests came in, totally cleared the land of all the native habitat, put in farming to raise tomatoes and zucchinis. Surely there could have been someplace else to raise tomatoes and zucchinis. So now the species has totally disappeared from 2 of the 4 river valleys. So we're hoping that's right now the most endangered hummingbird in the world, found in the Atacama Desert of Chile. That they say it's the driest desert in the world, but there are oases there where the hummingbird is found.
Wow.
So I'll be talking about that.
How fascinating.
It is fascinating. They fascinated me from the time my wife introduced them to me in 1987, and I knew nothing about them. She triggered my interest, and it hasn't stopped yet.
Gosh, top 3 things we can do to help the hummingbirds.
Well, you can help the local hummingbirds by putting out feeders, keeping them clean, and keeping the solutions fresh. Anytime there are hummingbirds around, putting out a feeder helps them because it's one more place they can look for food. Pity the poor migrating hummingbird who's just flown 1,000 miles to get here from Mexico, and he remembers this beautiful field of flowers, and now it's a parking lot for a grocery store. What's he going to do? He's got to find another source, and if you have flowers in your yard and or feeders in your yard, you help him survive. And if there's a forest fire that's cleared an area, he's got to find other places. So you really do help the local and the migrating hummingbirds when you put out a feeder and raise flowers. And some people don't have time for a garden, so a feeder is a good way to supplement it.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
And for them, sugar is, to us, it's sugar water. For them, it's the perfect all-around food. They'll need a few bugs, but they'll always find bugs.
Right, and just plain old sugar, nothing fancy, not the coconut sugar, not the fancy just plain white sugar and water.
Pure white cane sugar in the bag, the same stuff you put in your coffee, or at least I put in my coffee.
HummingbirdSociety.org, great website. Check
Thank
that
you.
out, hummingbirdSociety.org. Of course, if you want to talk about tickets to the festival, you're going to want to go there. Lots of information for you there. The center is located in VOC.
That's right.
And where is it located?
It's right on Highway 179. It's in a building called La Plaza, but it's got a big white hummingbird on the sign.
Yes.
We're trying to get the building changed to Hummingbird Plaza. I don't know if we'll succeed or not. We think we could put the VOC on the record as being the place to come and learn about hummingbirds, because we'll tell them about the society, we'll tell them about our festival, and we're right on the main drag of the VOC. We're hoping.
Location. Okay, we'll check you out. Go to hummingbirdSociety.org. Doctor, thank you for coming in.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for asking me to talk about hummingbirds.
Oh my gosh, I know we could keep going. I love hummingbirds too. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Show your customers how much they matter to you. Follow up with a real card in just 60 seconds with Send Out Cards. Send Out Cards makes it easy for busy professionals to leave a memorable impression. Stay in touch with a simple one-step process from your phone or computer to their mailbox. Call Judy today at 928-202-2557. That's 928-202-2557.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Suspect on the ground, stop my dog. Suspect on the ground, stop my dog. Suspect, stop fighting the dog. I'm gonna send my dog. Fast. Good boys.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. I'm now here with Sedona Police Officer, Officer Reed. He's one of the canine officers. In fact, he's the only canine officer for Sedona Police, which is absolutely awesome.
Yep.
Thank you for doing the job that you do. I'm
Enjoy
totally
it.
jealous. This looks like so much fun. Now, when we talk about police dogs, you know, people understand that they're used, you know, on patrol and they're used in situations.
Correct.
But there's a lot that happens before any of that goes on. And to talk about today is how regularly you get together and train.
Yes. Yeah, so every week there's 5 canine officers, myself for Sedona, Corey Schilling for Cottonwood Police Department, Jeff Bowers for the Camp Verde Marshal's Office, Josh Collins, who works for the Yavapai Apache Tribe, and Tyler Forbes, who works for Williams PD. We all get together every Wednesday when possible, and we spend 8 to 9 hours a day continuously training the dogs through all of our multiple disciplines. All of our dogs are dual purpose trained, which means we do narcotics and patrol, which means we're required to do 32 hours a month of documented training hours, and this allows us to dedicate that time to get that accomplished.
Wow, that's a part-time job right there.
It is.
Just doing that
Yes,
to keep
it
your
really is.
hours up.
Yep.
There's a lot of obedience that goes into it, which is amazing. I mean, obviously the dog has to be 100% focused on you and obedient. How do you get there?
So it's small steps. We start with a dog that sometimes has no training, sometimes has a lot of training. It depends on, you know, the dog we get. But a big part of it is we start with the very, very basics, and we slowly progress up to the point where we're doing a lot more advanced stuff now. When I first got my dog, he obviously wasn't capable of doing everything that I can do now with him. So we start him training with operant conditioning, which is a positive negative reinforcement training technique, and we work their way up to being able to be completely off lead using e-collar training. We can give our dogs commands from 50 yards, 100 yards away, and they're very obedient. It's the foundation of everything we do, especially with a patrol dog, because it's a dog that's trained to apprehend suspects, and we need to have absolute control over that dog so that it's a high liability position, and we need to make sure that dog listens to us at all times.
Of course. Well, we can see that when we watch you train, how the dog is completely focused on their officer. You'll have 5 dogs in a row, and each dog is focused on their own officer, their own boss, their own daddy, whatever you want to call it. What I love is that they're your family. They go home with you at night. You share dinner. You know, they're your family, and then you go to work. So it's your partner that you live with. It's very cool. It's this nice relationship. Absolutely. It's the best part about getting these dogs to do everything we ask them to do is having that special bond. That dog looks to us for everything. It's source of fun, it's source of love, all of that. And so every time we put this uniform on, they absolutely get excited, wanting to go to work and come to work with Dad or Mom. Oh yeah, you absolutely see that. They get so excited. They look at the job like it's the most fun job in the world. They are so enjoying themselves, and when they get their breaks and you're throwing their toy, oh, it's the best thing ever. What I love is that the training really follows into the natural play for the dog. It's not anything they don't know how to do. Hey, go get that, go fetch that, whether it's a ball or apprehending someone. No, absolutely. and that's kind of the new training techniques in canine, and it's part of the operant conditioning thing is everything we do is fun, it's play. So when it's negative reinforcement, we're essentially just taking that source of fun away. We're taking that toy away. When they're doing something good, they get that toy as a reward. So when we're training with equipment for apprehension, or we're training for narcotics, essentially everything they do is simply, it's a game, it's fun. When we're training them to find narcotics, we teach them by learning to locate toys that have the scent of certain drugs in them. So that builds their natural drives for hunt and prey and all the things that these high drive working dogs have already in them genetically. We enhance that by getting them to use those traits and encouraging it through play to go do those skills that we ask them to do. And it seems like the breed of choice is the Belgian Malinois? It all depends on the agency and the handler. It can be anywhere from Dutch Shepherds to German Shepherds to Belgian Malinois. It really depends on the needs, but traditionally it used to always be Shepherds because they were kind of big and more intimidating. But the thing about Shepherds is they have hip dysplasia issues and they're bigger, their life expectancy is a little less. So the Malinois are kind of a best of both worlds. They have the incredible drive, they have the incredible work ethic that a Shepherd has, but they're a little smaller, they're a little bit more agile, so if we have to get them to jump through windows, through cars, if we have to lift them up into an attic, they're a little bit more capable of doing those things, as well as
they get a lot longer lifespan out of them. So we might get these dogs to work till 9 or 10 years old.
Nice.
A shepherd might retire at 7 or 8. Well, a small agency like around here locally, if we can get an extra 2-3 years of quality working life out of that dog, that's a lot of money saved for the agency and the taxpayers.
Yeah, well, now that we're segueing into money, let's talk about that. The uncomfortable thing to talk about. Where does the money come for this type of program?
So we get lots of local help through companies like Olson's Grain. They donate all of our food to all the local canines in the Verde Valley and Prescott region. The Arizona Community Foundation donates money that's given to us, that's donated from the community members, that provides us with training, equipment, other types of resources that save our agencies a lot of money. There's also the National Police Dog Foundation. They donate a lot of money that helps us purchase dogs, as well as equipment. And my dog personally, we got money as a grant from PANT, which is our local narcotics task force. They also donated a lot of the money that went towards the purchase of my dog as well.
Right, Partners Against Narcotics Trafficking.
Yes, exactly.
Very, very amazing group as well.
Yes.
And you're such a bonus to the community. I mean, having you guys do what you do, and the fact that the dog being its own officer, doing things to assist you, it keeps you out of harm's way. Sending that dog into the building to find someone.
Yes, it does, and they come in very valuable. All of these canines that are here today are available for call-outs for like our SWAT team. So when we have a serious situation where our SWAT team is called out, all of these dogs are available to get called out for perimeter units, for entry units. That keeps our officers from having to go in and face threats directly. We can use the dogs for apprehensions, for locating somebody who's barricaded in a building. All of those things are what they're trained in doing, and they do it very well.
Yes, I bet, and then that's invaluable. I know that the dogs cost thousands, the training costs thousands, the equipment costs thousands upon thousands, but one dog doing its job well saves the community.
Absolutely.
You know, from who knows what, what we have to deal with these days. So you guys are absolutely awesome. I absolutely appreciate what you do, and as a dog owner, I know how hard it is to get your dog to do all those things. What was the most difficult thing to train in your dog, do you think? Which command?
They're all really, really good dogs. I would say for most dogs, one of the hardest things to get them to do is to give up their toy. So one of the things we train them most is a verbal out on an apprehension, on a bite.
Right,
so,
let go.
Yes, so that's one of the hardest things that we have to train and get them to do, is because they have this insatiable drive. They want to have their toy, they want to keep their toy. So when they're on a person in a bite suit, that's one of the hardest things we can get them to do, is get them to willfully give up that toy and come back to us. And it's something we train.
Let's test that, because I'm going to go put the toy suit on and see if we can get the dog to stop biting me.
Okay, we can do that.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Suspect, get on the ground, release the dog. Final warning, get on the ground. Fast. Good boys, Max. Good boys.
Suspect, get on the ground, son of my dog. Suspect, get on the ground, son of my dog. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Follow. Follow.
Wow, what a good dog. What a good dog. Hey, what a good boy you are. What a good boy you are. Who's a good boy?
He takes his gloves off and...
Kratos is a good boy.
Hitting some love.
Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. What a good boy. Woohoo. All right. Good boy.
Out of that hot suit?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That was awesome.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
won't you come over next to me until you're the only thing I see? Then you can tell me just how you feel. Then I'll know our love is real. And we'll sing shooby-doo-wop, 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 baby, yeah. Shooby-doo-wop, 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 baby. Then we can see how far ahead we can look at all the things we said. 'Cause tomorrow is a brand new day, and we're gonna take it, honey, anyway. We'll sing shooby-doo-wop, 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 baby, yeah. Shooby-doo-wop, 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 yeah. Shooby-doo-wop, baby, yeah. Shooby-doo-wop, baby, yeah. Shooby-doo-wop, 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 baby, yeah.
Wow! That was awesome. Tim Young, everyone. Wow, I love that.
Thank you,
I love it. You got your feet going. You know, if you could see the feet, you know. Feet were going. You're just so
I like to shake it up if I can.
jazzy and snazzy. I love it. That's great, Tim. You got such amazing energy behind the mic.
Thank you.
It just, you know.
It's just always been that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
got like it's like Andre the Giant size energy coming out of you into the audience. Like, wow, I was over there on the side going, oh yeah, this is good stuff. And that is an original.
That is.
You've heard it here first. 'Cause
Shooby-doo-wop.
it's coming up on the CD, not yet released yet.
That's right. Hopefully, I can't say any dates, but I'll say 2019.
Okay.
So that gives me still
Good.
6 months or so.
No stress.
Right.
You can release it anytime. Woo! But there's a lot to put an album together. I'm impressed.
There is. A lot of planning, and make sure you. It depends too, you know, whether if you have other people playing with you, and you have to have a more stricter arrangement. And oftentimes, I'm just solo, so I can, you know, have a loose arrangement. I can, you know, change it up on the spot if I want to, since there's nobody depending on me.
Right, the spirit moves you. You just keep going with the shooby-doo-wops and, you know, or whatever.
How many shoobies I want to do.
Depends on the audience. That's always nice. I love that about live music, how much you feed off of your audience. You know, when the audience
That's the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
Even if there's like 2 people, and one of them, even if only one of them is paying attention, I can do wonders.
Yeah.
Or it feels like I can.
Right. Well, certainly. I don't know how you have time to be recording an album. You play so much. You play all over the place. You have multiple gigs this month. You have standing gigs the second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday at Page Springs.
The first Monday
Vino
at
di
Vino di Sedona.
And then I can't tell you which weekend it is, but I always have a weekend at Full Moon Saloon.
All right.
In VOC.
That's true. In the end of July, you're doing an event for the Homeless Coalition, too.
That's right. Through Daniel Holland is a producer, and it's going to be at Posse Ground. And supposedly, I think there's a player there from some big band. But he's going to be there, and there's going to be belly dancers. And,
cool.
And Zenprov, you know that comedian group? They're going to be there too, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's on the 27th or the 27th.
It's a Saturday.
For sure. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Great that you did that. And of course, you did the concert series, the
Red Dirt.
The Red Dirt. That was an awesome
let me tell you,
series.
that was really fantastic.
Yeah, that was an amazing lineup of musicians. So you're busy every week. You're doing something. You're playing somewhere.
I have room in my calendar. Hear that?
You must take some good vitamins.
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep up with yourself.
Well, I don't know either.
That's great. Okay, so that last song, which you said was called
Shooby-Doo-Wop.
Shooby-Doo-Wop, was really, I love it, high energy. You're going to play another song for us. What's that one called?
This is called Tavern.
Tavern. Tell us about that one.
It comes out of, because so often I'm playing in bars, and they, you know, it's just that vibe. seeps into you.
Yeah.
And since I've done that for so many years, not only here in Arizona, but in New York, so that the tavern is like, you know, part of my persona, my milieu, or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah.
That's interesting.
And that's where that song comes from.
Oh, that's great. I love hearing about why you wrote certain songs, about what was behind it, where'd the muse come from, you know, what part of you are you sharing with us when you sing that song?
Yeah, and that one, originally, you'll hear the bridge. It didn't have that bridge, and then when that came, the song really blossomed for me, so
nice.
I was glad to. Then it was finished.
Oh, very good.
Usually it takes, you know, sometimes they come in a day or two or a week or a month, but then after this was like several weeks, whatever, then that bridge came, and then it was finished.
Right. Yes, you can feel that. I had another musician say, well, there's songs you just kind of give up on, and you go, that's good enough, and then there's songs you finish, and how rare it is to finish a song. I was really surprised to hear that, because I thought, well, if you're singing it, it must be finished. They said, no, sometimes you just kind of,
yeah, and sometimes you get it all together, and you sing it, and then the next day, if I immediately forget about it, then it doesn't make the list. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Your album that you're working on, how many songs are going to be on that?
Oh, probably a dozen.
Nice. So a good full album.
Yep.
That's great. And I know that for every dozen songs you put on an album, there's a good 100 that didn't make it.
Well, there's definitely some that won't make it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, you know.
You want to do your best.
You keep some mystery. You got to have something that's not out there that you go, hey guys, this
hidden
is
tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a cool one.
Deep tracks.
That's a cool one, the series, the Tim Young series, the hidden deep tracks. Well, if we go to Facebook, I know you're on Facebook. We can also go to timyoungmusic.com.
Mighty Tim Young on Facebook, and Tim Young on Facebook, and my website.
Yeah.
timyoungmusic.com.
Absolutely. And we can find your gig list where we can find
That's
you
on the
playing next.
website.
That's on the website. Yep. Can we listen to your music anywhere on the internet?
On the website, it's there.
Okay.
And also at CD Baby, if you search for Tim Young, they sell the CDs there.
Okay.
But they also sell they sell a physical CD, but also, you know,
MP3s.
MP3s.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You know, depending on your choice, you need a hard copy, or you just like, you know,
I think the digital songs are cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Mighty Tim Young, I love that. I love that about you. When did you get that moniker?
I have to credit a man named Bob Portnoy with that, who used to live in the village when Paula and I lived there, and he caught me playing the Full Moon Saloon, and I said, well, Bob, maybe you should be my manager.
Oh.
Because he was like always very supportive.
Aww.
And he said, well, I don't know about that, but I think you should use Mighty Tim Young. And at first I thought, and then after a while, it grew on me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, Andre the Giant size energy booming out of the, you know, a normal statured man. Yeah, the Mighty Tim Young. I love it. Tim, thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you for performing for us.
Had a great time.
TimYoungMusic.com. Check it out. Check us out. We've got ourselves on Facebook, YouTube, VerdeValleyTV.com, MyRadioPlace.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.
This is Tavern. Candle burns low on my table. Jukebox sings its same sad song. And here she comes again with another. And I know I'll be sitting here much too long. Night flows on like a river, wrapping its arms all around me. Though I don't know where it's going, I know it's a place I need to be. Spend my life in this tavern, 'cause it feels like home to me. To spend my life in this tavern, watching the days disappear. disappear like the beer in front of me. Don't know exactly how this happened. Never did have one big plan. Oh, but now that I see it, what I need to do is understand. Spend my life in this tavern, 'cause it feels like home to me. Spend my life in this tavern, watching the days disappear like the beer in front of me. Spend my life in this tavern, 'cause it feels like home to me. And when my candle burns out, I'll light a new one. So there's always a flame in front of me. Yeah, spend my life in this tavern, 'cause it feels like home to me. Spend my life in this tavern, watching the days disappear like the beer in front of me. Watching the days disappear like the beer in front of me. Yeah, watching the days disappear like the beer in front of me.